Right. Okay, well, a very warm welcome to everyone. My name is James Sanderson. I've been involved with Juice Plus business for a long time. I mean, 28 years. So it's been an amazing journey. But now is probably better than ever before because of what's happening with our business and how suddenly it's totally exploding. And someone tonight who we're going to hear from is a perfect example of someone who has brought so much dynamism to our business, but also so much success for herself and so many other people. So a very, very warm welcome to you, Lauren, and thank you for joining us.
Hi, everyone.
Good. So, Lauren, last time, well, obviously, I got to know you a little bit, perhaps, when we were up in Scotland last December. And, we were all up there as PMDs, which was an amazing time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was fantastic. But it was just so extraordinary just to see so many new faces and so many people like yourself who are having so much success. So, when I met you, I thought, wow, this is incredible. And obviously, since then, you've now got the Range Rover.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Yeah. Anyway, you've got an amazing business. And I think we're all kind of sitting on the edge of our seats thinking, how has she done this? What has she done? How has she just built something so extraordinary? And it really is extraordinary what you've built because, some people would have taken decades to achieve what you have achieved in a relatively short period of time. So the first question I'd love to ask you is, how did you first get introduced to Juice Plus? How did the whole process start?
Well, I've been in the business for 3 years now, and my background is I've always been in sales. So my last job, I was a sales exec, so I was on the road, I was working for a large coffee company. It's quite a stressful job, 9 to 5 with high sales targets, and I was a bit of a job snob really, and I always thought I had a really good job. And then my best friend Nat, she got involved in the business about 6 months before me. And she kept telling me to get involved, and I was like, no, it sounds like a load of shite, it sounds like a scam, you're just going to get, you're not going to get paid, or it's just going to go down the pan. I was really, really sceptical at first, but I found myself putting on quite a bit of weight doing my job because I was always out on the road. So I got into the shakes, I bought the shakes off Nat, and I got into the shakes and I actually loved them. I lost like 2 stone. I loved how much energy they give me. So I fell in love with the product first of all, but I still was dead against joining the business. I was like, I've got a really good full-time job. It's took me ages to get this job and I would never leave it. So no thanks. But I kept seeing like every single month she was getting promoted on Facebook, and I've been in my job for years and I've never had a promotion. There was no room for real progression really, apart from if my boss left, and it would have been years and years. So I was seeing her getting promoted all the time, and she was going on holiday. She bought a brand new Audi, and I'd always wanted an Audi at the time. She bought a mum a brand new car, and I was like, God, you really are making a lot of money. So I was like, right, I'll give it a go. And at the time, it was 65 quid to join. And I remember in my first couple of weeks, I was completely rubbish. I used to post about once a day. I didn't really get it. I wasn't putting my all in. I was just literally just messing around, putting a post on, here, there and everywhere now and again. And I didn't take it seriously. And I was like, I remember we were on the way to V Festival like 3 years ago. We're going again next month. Exactly 3 years ago. And we're in the back of the car and she was looking and not even, answered to my inquiries. And she was like, you really need to take this seriously if you want to do it. And I was like, I just want to earn enough money to get my £65 back and I'm quitting. So can you imagine if I quit all that time ago? So she was telling me I need to be consistent, I need to put my all in. So I decided I was going to give it 1 month and then I was quitting if I didn't get my £65 back. So I absolutely smashed it. I didn't put my phone down. I was consistent every day. I'd be using mainly social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And I remember in my first full month, I earned £930. Now, to me, that was like half of my full-time wage. And I was doing this around my full-time job. So I'd be doing it, before work, in every break I got in the evening. So after I got £930 and hit SGD, I was hooked. Then I thought, I can't believe I've just earned this for doing like 2 hours a day of work. So after that, I literally was obsessed with the business. I wanted to get promoted every month. I didn't put my phone down and I got to PMD within 9 months. So it literally was crazy. It was just the first 2 weeks it took me to get there, and then I realised how serious the business was.
Wow. So that's absolutely incredible. So, but you started off in a fairly, initially quite a tentative way. But what was it that you started doing that getting you such great results? And because it's quite extraordinary to go from maybe one post a day to suddenly going to a point where you're not putting your phone down, you're just posting all the time. Did Natalie tell you what you should be doing, or did you kind of...
She was explaining to me I need to be consistent. I can't just get away with doing one post a day and that's all. You need to be consistent. And she explained I was just duplicating exactly what she did. So at the time, I used to do quite a lot of my business on Twitter. So I was literally adding new people all the time on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I was posting probably every hour. I really wanted that first promotion. She said, once you get that first promotion, it'll really motivate you. So that's why I decided to give it my all in the first month. So it's just about consistency. It just shows that, if you don't put your all in, you're just going to, get out what you put in. It's the same with Olivia. Olivia Measures is one of my PMDs, and she literally was the same as me for the first couple of weeks. She was too scared to post on Facebook. She didn't want to put anything on her actual profile. She was too embarrassed, and look at her now, literally social media queen. So it just shows that you need to, don't care what people think. You need to just be posting and be consistent, and then you will get the results.
That's amazing. So, Lauren, tell us a little bit about your first 6 months, because obviously, you went to PMD so fast, right? But after your first month, obviously, you'd earned £900 and things were beginning to move. Tell us about some of the things that you could see happening in your business that was beginning to get you so excited.
Well, I think I got my first rep, I think it was probably about 3 weeks, just at the end of my first month. And I was really excited because I had someone, obviously, I didn't realise at the start that, all their points and everything would go towards my promotion, and I'd get paid on everything my team do. So I was really excited to get about getting my first rep. And I remember she got a couple of reps under her who were amazing. So that really gave me a boost as well, because I had them by that time, I had 4 or 5 on my team by my second month. So I decided I was going to concentrate on recruiting as much as I could as well in my second month. And I think I got 2 more reps myself. And by that time, my team was growing and growing. So it was just really exciting, just realising that this could actually be my future job. So I decided to recruit as much as I can. I was literally posting every single time I got a spare, minute when I was on a break or after work. And my boyfriend wanted to dump me because I was literally on my phone. I'd be signing reps up when I'm sat on the loo. I just didn't put my phone down because that's what I'm like. I was literally so tenacious and I just wanted it so bad. But it just sometimes takes you to either see someone else doing it or to get your first promotion to get a taste for it.
Yeah. But, it's so interesting what you're saying, because your success has been absolutely massive. But if you look at the first couple of months, it was relatively slow in a sense. 1 rep the first month, 2 reps the second month. A lot of people would say, this is never going to happen. But obviously you were just full of massive vision. What was it that was really keeping you going in the early stages?
I think it was seeing what Nat had done, because she was getting promoted. I think by that time she was probably, I think she might have been a QMD or something. And I saw her and Natalie, her and Carly, they were going to, big events. I think it might have been Nice at the time. And I was like, I'll never go somewhere like that. I was too scared and I didn't really get the big vision. But they went somewhere, I think it was Nice, and they came back and they were like, we're going to be PMDs, we're going to be rich. And I was like, really? And I went to my first event, I think it was at the Village Hotel. And me and Nat were sat at the back, and I think Charlotte Rigby was speaking, and she stood up and said that she earned £10,000 in a month, and we were looking at each other like, £10,000? How can anyone earn that in a month? And we literally got home. We were so excited and so hungry for it, because I am money motivated. That I've always been in sales, and I will admit that obviously money does excite me. And we were like, £10,000, what would you do with that? And we were just so excited, and I really wanted to catch up to Nat as well, because she was, I think, something like QMD by that time, and she was getting so many promotions and earning loads of money. So I just wanted to duplicate what Nat had done.
Wow. And so with your team, obviously things started moving pretty fast after the first couple of months. So first month, 1 rep, second month, 2 reps. But then clearly, that huge momentum started to kick in. What did you start to see happening that was going on in your team?
I taught my reps as well to recruit from day one. Like on my first month, I was a bit scared and I was like, oh, I don't want to rep, I don't know what I'm doing. But Nat explained to me that obviously she'll look after them for me. So don't be scared to recruit even from day one. You can get your upline to look after them for you. So I taught that to my team as well, recruit from straight away. Olivia did the same. I don't know if you've heard her story a few times, but she was, in the first couple of weeks, she was about to give up. And then she got a girl under her who was a smasher, and she was even better than her, and that helped her get to STD. So I think if you're recruiting from day one, it does excite you and it helps build your team. But also you just need to get over the fear of people saying no. So many people are scared of asking people, but you need to just get over that fear, because you don't know who will really need this opportunity. You're actually helping someone, and if someone says no, then who cares? Every no you get is going to be closer to that yes. So I would.
Yeah, very interesting, Lauren. Just talking about the no's, on social media, what proportion of people would be saying no to you on social media?
On social media, God, loads. If you say,
What
for example,
proportion? I mean, it would be 50%, 40%, 60%,
no,
20%?
probably about 75%. But
Saying
obviously,
no.
yeah, but it depends on how many people you're adding. So if you're only adding a couple of people a day and you're getting no's, then obviously you need to be adding as many people as possible.
And how many people would you say to add every day? Because obviously Facebook can shut you down, can't they? If you
I would only add about 10 a day, up to 10 a day on Facebook, because they can block you.
Yeah.
Now you can add up to 50 a day, and on Instagram you can add up to about, I think, 100 an hour. So on Instagram you can really add loads of people on there. And I just follow people with similar interest to myself. Like I'd be interested in anything girly, so other diets, hair, makeup, nails, things like that. I just follow things that are interesting to me, and then the girls will follow me back and ask me for info. But you can't just be a Juice Plus robot. You need to show off your lifestyle, so you need to make yourself, attractive on social media. And just ask yourself, would you want to join your team? So show off, like any holidays you're going on, any trips, any events you've got coming up. If you've just bought, a pair of shoes with your Juice Plus ways, just show off your lifestyle, and don't always be, just a Juice Plus robot advertising about Juice Plus. You need to be more personal.
And how would you then discover the people that were interested and that you did want to talk to? Because you'd be posting, you get people who'd be giving likes. At what point do you go back in and start having a private conversation with them?
I would never actually approach someone. I would wait for them to approach me. I would usually never cold email anyone. I know people do, and it works really well for them, and even people on my team have done it before, but I've never actually emailed someone just a random. I would wait for them to see my adverts and message me. But I know it works really well for some people. So obviously there's nothing wrong against doing that. You could maybe send a message, something along the lines of, you'd be really good at my business, let me know if you want some info, something like that. But I've actually waited for them to inquire, and then I'd send them some info and maybe a Gen Y video or something that's relevant to them.
Yeah. And what would people tend to come back to you to say if they're responding to you?
Usually people will ask, obviously, is it hard? They'll ask, is there a sign-up fee? Because quite a lot of people are skeptical and think it's a scam and that they might lose some money. A lot of people will ask if they need to buy any stock, or deliveries, which they don't. And some people just ask lots of questions, and they might not even sign up now, but they'll wait on your Facebook for a while. I've got people that inquired, a year or two ago, and they'll just stay on your Facebook watching. Eventually they will sign up. So if someone does say no, it might just be a no for now, and eventually they will join you. But you just need to give them all the information you can. Make sure, say for example, you've got a single mum inquiring and she can't afford to, take her kids to nursery and she wants to stay at home, then tag them in a video or show a testimonial of someone that's relevant to her. You just put them on your Facebook and make sure they're on your social media so they're always watching, because eventually they will come back to you.
Yeah, so fascinating. So you really got moving with it and you were really, really consistent. But tell us, what was like one of the first big breakthroughs that you got, like a massive breakthrough? Because you got reps coming in, but suddenly there must have been some key things that you go, oh my God, this is unbelievable what is happening. Maybe it might be one particular person coming in, or suddenly something happening that you go, I'm almost losing control of what's going on here. Tell us a little bit about that.
I had quite a few good recs. Obviously, Olivia, she joined my business after I think I'd just gone to IMD or EMD. So she joined my business when I was nearly PMD, but she was an absolute superstar, obviously, from day one. And that leg is just absolutely amazing. I've got, obviously, Dana. I think Dana actually beat me to NMD. So my own downline actually beat me to NMD, or QNMD. It was one position. and then I like caught her up. So there was so many different, obviously amazing reps on my team. But obviously going to the first big event, I think it was Bolton, and seeing everyone on stage getting awards and recognition, and hearing, everyone's amazing stories, that really opened my eyes. That was the first big event I've ever been to, and that really opened my eyes to, how amazing this business can be. And then it took me at least, I think it was another year until I actually quit my job. So I actually did most of it, the majority of my business, part-time, whilst working 9 to 5.
So tell us, Lauren, I mean, clearly the key thing for people building a big business is to build a big team and to have an interaction with the team. Tell us a little bit about how you've built the team, and also how you've developed that interaction with the team and that sense of team identity. I mean, do you draw the team together online or in meetings, or how do you make that connection, and how have you built your team?
Well, at the start, obviously, when you've got lots of smaller team, it's easier to obviously have Zoom calls and meetings and get together. But at the moment, obviously, now my team is so big. I've got so many massive teams and brands. We do kind of lots of separate things as well. So at the start, it's really important to build a fab relationship, like with all my frontline. We have an amazing relationship. We go away on holidays together. We're all together at events. We party. So it's really important to have a good relationship with all your reps. But obviously now I've got so many big legs. We mainly do Zoom calls or get together at the big events, or we do something with people that are local to us. But at the moment, it's so hard to get everyone together because we've got thousands of people in our team. So we use the events as a good catch up and get together. But apart from that, it would be Zoom calls and conference calls.
Oh, amazing. Just to say very quickly, everyone, if you're on the line now, and if you could mute yourself, because there are maybe a couple of people that have come on comparatively recently, and I muted everyone before we started. So if you could just go down to the left-hand side there of the screen, if you could mute yourself, that'd be absolutely great. Yeah. No, so that's extraordinary, Lauren. I mean, that you've got such a massive team, and obviously they've all then gone on and becoming very independent type people. So it's really the ultimate. So you are a bit of a star maker in a sense, because I would say so, because you've got so many really fantastic people in your team. So what do you think is that sort of secret to really motivating people to become independent? Because there must be a sense of, like, you saying to them, well, come on, but you've obviously got a star quality ability to really make stars. So what's the process that you go through to help people to become really independent?
I just think it happens naturally. When someone's, for a new starter, for example, I'll have all my new starters in a group and I'll speak to them daily and I'll send them posts and updates and, really babysit them. But as someone gets to, say, the level of, QMD, maybe SSE even, they start to get their own brands, their own team, their own identity. So literally it kind of happens naturally. People kind of branch off and do their own thing. Obviously we always do Zoom calls for the whole team and get-togethers, but I think at that level around QMD, people start to branch off and, be independent themselves.
And do you mentor them then once they start going up to QMD? Do you sort of get on the line to them and say, look, I really want to draw you in closely and I can just really give you some high-level tips?
Not really, no. They literally just do it themselves. So after someone gets to that level and they know exactly what they're doing and they know how to build a team, it's the same. We just have regular Zoom calls and get-togethers and speak. We obviously speak daily. I speak daily to my frontline, but there's not something I taught them. It's just something they do themselves after they get to QMD. Say they branch off and they're independent with their own teams.
Lovely. Okay, no, that's great. I mean, it's amazing how you've managed it. Tell us a little bit about your DMO, your daily method of operation, because it seems to be such an important thing for people to grasp. Cheryl Cortese, you probably remember her saying at the Birmingham conference, not last year, but I think the year before, she said, your DMO will never let you down. Yeah. So, just tell us a little bit about your DMO and what you do really that you feel really is effective for you.
Every day I would set myself a goal of trying to get at least one rep or one order. So that'll be my daily goal. At the moment, it's mainly recruiting because I obviously want to build new legs. So in the morning, I will obviously post usually something about the shapes or capsules or something before I go to the gym. So I'll make sure I try and post at least 2 or 3 times in the morning. I think if you stick by 9 times a day, so try to do 2 or 3 in the morning, 2 or 3 posts in a day and 2 or 3 in the evening, and mix it up a bit. So you're not, a robot. So you do something about lifestyle, maybe something about holiday, something where you're going, maybe an event. It's not all just before and after pictures of the shakes or capsules. Make sure you mix it up and it's interesting. Maybe ask questions like, which handbag shall I go for? Where should I go on holiday to get interacting? People love that. You get loads of likes for that. But just keep it interesting. So I'll make sure to try and post at least 9 times a day. I'll speak to all my front line, and I'll make sure in the morning I have a new starters group, and I'll post, I'll send them examples of posts that they can use throughout the day, because some people, are unsure of what to put, so I'll send them lots of pictures, put some posts in there, give them a task for the day. So depending on obviously what they're aiming for, let them know obviously how many points they need for their promotion, give them a task for the day, maybe run an incentive. Like last weekend, we just did a weekend incentive running from Friday to Sunday, and I just did the person with the most orders gets a little present, so they got some Victoria's Secret goodies. We're running incentives with my team. We do a monthly one for the whole team, and then I'll do one maybe for a new starters group, a bit lower, just when they first start. So I'll make sure I speak to all my new starters. And then maybe in the evening there'll be a Zoom call or a conference call or a local event. But I'll obviously make sure that I'm constantly speaking to new people. So I'll probably aim for about 10 people a day that I'm speaking to, either about the business. So that can either be on social media or face-to-face. Every time I go and get my hair or makeup or nails done, I'll go to a different salon, and I'll just sit there and drop subtle hints. So they'll be asking me where I'm going. I could be going, usually it is just to a Juice Plus event or a night out. And they'll always be moaning. They've asked them about their job. They'll always be moaning about how many hours they work, or about how the day's going, or how they've got to work weekends. So I'll just drop subtle hints like, oh, this is my job now. I can work from my phone, so I can come and get my hair done in the middle of the day. We're going to this event, next week, or this place, we're going to Marbella or whatever. And I'll just drop subtle hints about the job and what we do. And then I'll go, I'll send you some info if you want. And I'll add them on Facebook while I'm sat there in the chair, send them some info, maybe send them a video. And that's it. So I do quite a lot of 3-foot ruling when I'm out and about. Like yesterday, I was taking the dog for a walk, and I was chatting to this girl, we're walking along with our dog. She was only 19. And she's like, oh, I'm going to have to go now. I've got to go to work in a pharmacy. And she was like, I hate it, but hopefully I'll get a new job soon. So while we're walking home, I was just telling her about the opportunity. And she's hopefully signing up tomorrow. So I literally never stop. I see everyone as an opportunity. Even when I'm shopping in Selfridges, I'll try and sign up the girls there, and just make sure I, just have a little chat with them. Don't make it hard sell. Add them on Facebook. And even if they don't sign up now, they'll still be watching. They'll still be on your Facebook, and they might join you in the future.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. That's fun. Yeah, wonderful. I love the way that you've taken it online and offline, and because it's just so nice. It's very nice. So we're going to be finishing this part of the call in 5 minutes, and then we're then going to move into question answer, which tends to last for about 15 minutes. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to open up the lines and everybody start, shouting their questions. It's a bit chaotic. So what we are going to do, though, is invite everyone, if you've got a question for Lauren, because, we have an absolute guru here, sitting here with us now. No, it's true, Lauren. It's no question. It's true. So if you've got a particular question, you're thinking, oh, wow, I must ask this question of Lauren. Would you go down to the bottom of the screen and would you write some questions down there on the chat line? And there's no silly question here, by the way. I guarantee whatever question you want to ask, someone else wants to ask the same question. So please do ask whatever you can, and we'll come back to that in a minute. So I hope you'll really, really go for it, and we'll have some really interesting questions. So as we finish, Lauren, I just wanted to ask you really, what are your 5 top tips? What would you say? Where you think, right? Do you know what? This is it.
Yeah, I would say, I know it's boring and everyone says it, but being consistent. If you're not consistent, you're not going to get anywhere. With this business, there's literally no secret to success. Like some people say, oh, what's your secret? And you get messages of people asking, how you've done it. But there is no secret. It's just about posting as much as you can. So literally being consistent on all your social media and when you're speaking to people. adding new people every day, because if you've not got new people on your social media, then it's just going to be the same people seeing your adverts constantly, and speaking to people as much as you can. If, for example, you were speaking to one person a day, that's 7 a week, that's 28 a month. If you were speaking to 10 a day, that's 70 a week and 280, is it, a month? So it just shows the difference. It's a numbers game. You literally, what you put in, you get out. So as long as you're speaking to as many people as possible and posting as much as you can, then you will be successful. But it's all about being consistent. My second tip would be look after your customers. Now, I've signed up so many customers as reps because they're obviously perfect. They're already on the product. They've already got, a story to tell. They're already raving fans of the product. They're already probably recommending it to their friends and family. So I would, after they've been on the product for a couple of weeks even, I would just send them a quick message and just say, you'd be really good at what we do. Let me know if you want to earn some extra money. And then all they can say is no, but most say yes. And then you can send them some info. So I would definitely say it's so important to look after your customers, not just to sign them up as a rep as well. Obviously, they might recommend you to other people. You can get some referrals. Number 3, I would say, is positivity. I literally believe in positivity so much. You can never be negative on your Facebook or social media. It's your shop window. So if you've ever been dumped or you're having a Mackey's or you're having a bad day, just don't put it on Facebook because obviously it can undo all of your hard work. I read The Secret every single day, and when I was going for PMD, I'd literally drive around in my car listening to the audio CD saying, thank you for PMD in May, thank you for PMD in May. I must have looked like a weirdo, but it works. So I would definitely say, do some self-development. I really like The Secret books, The Power, The Magic, or listen to a CD, an audio CD in your car, or maybe just someone you look up to in the business or a celebrity, watch a video on YouTube to motivate you. But self-development is really, really important. And then my last one would be a product of the product. Obviously, you don't have to be dead skinny or go to the gym every day to do this job, but, being on the product, you can talk about how you're feeling, not just sharing other people's results, but how you're feeling off the product. So, if it's your skin, your hair, your nails, your energy, you want to be posting about having the shakes or the capsules in the morning. So be a product of the product and make sure, if you just join the business, make sure you get on at least one of the products so you know exactly what you're talking about and you can recommend them.
Fantastic. Great, Lauren. So just as we finish off, a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, Lauren, it's just been so amazing for you all along. It's just been one long process of success. But there's a question I want to ask you. What's been your highest point and what's been your... Oh, Lauren, you've disappeared.
Oh, I can see you there.
All right, yeah. Oh, there you're back, yeah. What's been your highest point and what's been your lowest point?
The highest point was probably hitting PMD. I remember we were at the Bolton event and it was like the last day of the event and we were all in our room getting ready. We'd just been out and we were all back at our room having a few drinks and we were waiting for the pay line to update, and I think it was about 1 a.m. and we had a bottle of champagne on the side and it literally just went off itself and we checked our reports and it was PMD and we literally went wild. So that was an absolute amazing weekend when I went to PMD. So that's probably one of the highlights. Also the trip we went on to Marrakesh, the all paid on a private jet, that was just out of this world. The low points, I did drop down, like sometime last year, I dropped down to 5 legs. Now that is scary, obviously, because you don't want to ever go below 5. And I was literally like hanging on. 2 of them were, hanging on by a thread. So I was literally trying to build them up, build new legs. And I was panicking a bit because I never wanted to drop below that. So that was probably one of my low points. And I built them back up to 13 legs now. So
13 legs?
Yeah. But yeah, 5 is a bit scary.
Amazing. All right. Well, look, that's fascinating. So great. That is so interesting. I mean, I've written reams of notes. I hope you're coming back.
Yeah, I can hear
right,
you.
yeah, we've got the questions now. Right. So, Lauren, there are a couple of questions. Right. So, yeah. So, Patrick from Sweden asked, do you have people on a list like a CRM or do you just do it from Facebook and Instagram? Do you have a list of prospects that you put on a CRM, or do you run everything from Facebook and Instagram, do you?
Yeah, everything's from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also just people I know face to face. So I'll just do it naturally when I meet them. I've never really, when we went to GoPro, for example, quite a lot of that was about building your list and going through your list every day. And I don't actually think that's as relevant to us with using social media. Like, obviously it works for a lot of people, but for us, we've never really built the list. We've just done it as we've added new people or people we've met face to face. But obviously it does work for a lot of people. So I would say, keep doing that if it's working for you, but it's not something I've done myself.
No, okay. So Nicola Tolson asks, which is your preferred social media route and which gets the most response in your
Would say Facebook now. At the time it was Twitter, but when I was at an event once, I think when I first started, I told everybody, and everybody went on there, and I think it got a bit saturated. And literally, I don't really do as much on there anymore. So it's mainly Facebook now. Facebook is where I do like 98% of my business, and Instagram's starting to get big as well. So I would say probably Facebook, then Instagram at the moment.
Yeah. And then Debbie Smallman asks, on the 333 posting scenario, do you always post just on one social media or across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? So do you post everything across all the different platforms?
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll do it on Facebook, and then I'll copy and paste for all of them. So you're doing it, throughout all of them. So on every single site, because you want to be posting as much as possible. So it literally takes 1 second. You literally copy and paste and add the same picture to all of them that you're on.
And how long would it take you to prepare your posts? So if you're posting 3 a.m, how long would that actually take you? And do you think a lot the night before about what you're going to post the following day?
Literally that day. So maybe. Really? Yeah, if it's something obviously like a holiday or something, then it'll be, that day you're thinking about it. But yeah, it doesn't take any time. We don't prepare them the evening before or anything like that. It'll just be, if I'm going to the gym and having a shake, I'll post that. And then when I get back, I'm doing incentives, or if I'm advertising for, a new team member, I'll just do it as I'm actually posting.
Would you say that you've become a lot better at it over time? That when you first started with the posting, was it instantaneous? Was it second nature, or did it take you a while to get into what?
Yeah, when you first start, you are scared and you don't know what to write, so you ask your upline and what should they put. So when that used to send me things to post, because I was like, what do I put? And when you have a look at other people, what they're posting, and might duplicate them a bit. So at the start, obviously, don't worry. You will just have to ask your upline until you feel comfortable to start posting. I think everyone's the same, but eventually it just comes a bit more naturally.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I mean, the thing is, because it's so easy to give people the impression that, everyone's brilliant and everybody's picked up all the ideas straight away. And of course, there is a learning curve with this, and people need to understand that. So Amber is asking, how do you start? She says it's very overwhelming. How do you get people to buy? So tell us about some of your first customers. How did that happen for you?
Well, when my first customers, I'd post a lot of before and after pictures, because mainly I used to concentrate on the shakes when I first started, and that was the majority of my business. So I would do, some really good before and after pictures, and then I'd make them, really colourful, stand out, and I probably had a few pictures to each post, and then people would inquire. I'd send them some info, maybe a few testimonials. It was basically just about adding and posting, like I said before. It wasn't any, there's no special secret in getting orders. It's just about getting them to see your advert and for you to send the info after they inquire.
And then people basically are buying from you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good to show your own results as well. Like I said before, obviously people will trust your results more than they would a picture. So if you've got your own, shake results or capsule results or booster, people will believe you, especially your friends and family and people that know you. They'll believe you and trust you a lot more. So it's good to put your own results on there as well.
Yeah. So Amy Patrick, just talking about a little bit more about the product. Amy Patrick asks, how do you get someone really interested when they ask about a particular product? So obviously you posted something, they come back and say, oh, that's interesting. And then you obviously then go back to them and they go, wow, I must have that. Does that the way it work, or?
Well, it depends. I usually ask them what their goal is first of all. So I'll find out what their goal is, if it's weight loss or if it's hair, nails, or skin, whatever their goal is. I'll speak to them about that, and then I'll probably show them a testimonial of someone similar, or explain what the average weight loss is if they're looking to lose weight, or tell them about my story and how much I lost, or just make it personal to them. Don't just copy and paste info for every single person, because they'll know that it just sounds generic and then it's robotic. Just make sure you ask them about their goal, ask them about themselves, and then maybe send them some info and someone similar to themselves.
And are you, Lauren, are you always talking to people basically online? You're not talking to them on the telephone?
I do. What I used to do, I was actually having this conversation the other day. I've not done it as much lately, but what I used to do is speak to them online and then take it offline and have a phone call with them as well. So I need to start doing that actually a lot more. But I used to take it offline, have a chat, because there's only so much you can write in messaging,
Yeah.
it's not as online. So I'd have a little chat with them, maybe a 10-minute chat. And then I would try and sign them up there and then over the phone, because then they've not got as much time to think about it. Sometimes if you leave people, for example, when they're signing up as a rep, if you leave people to think about it too long, you might get skeptics, in the family or the boyfriend and things like that.
Yeah.
So I used to just say, I've got my laptop here in front of me now, do you want me to get you all signed up? So something like that, a bit more, try and do it while you're on the phone, really.
Oh, well, that's where your professional sales side comes out.
That's a sale.
Very good. Closing people. That's brilliant. Yeah. So, okay. So Megan asks, Megan Turley, how, yeah. So how do you get people interested in the business side? She says, how do you sell the business idea to people? Because obviously you're talking about the product. I mean, you alluded to that earlier to say you'd be great and all that, but just tell us a little bit about how you move a customer into the business side.
I would show off. Obviously, they'd be watching your profile, so I'd show if it was on social media. You just show off your lifestyle. So you need to make it attractive. So you need to make it. So, for example, you're sat on a sun lounger with your phone at the beach or in Marbella or wherever, earning money from your phone. So they want to be able to do that. They might be stuck in an office, working a 9 to 5. So obviously showing yourself, showing your lifestyle, that you can work from anywhere, or if you're at the park with the kids, you no longer have to put them in nursery. It's about, having that time with your children, not just about, the money side of it. So whatever they're looking for, you need to ask them, what they're looking for. Is it more time? Is it money? Is it a bit of both? And show off your lifestyle and try and find someone similar to them that they can relate to, and maybe send them a video. So it's just about being attractive to them and not just being a robot, advertising for 2 reps every single day and hoping someone will inquire. You need to just make them look attractive and make this job look amazing, so they can work from anywhere, they can travel, they can earn amazing money, buy a new house or car, whatever they're looking for, you need to make it attractive to them.
Yeah, fantastic. Dan Furlong asks, are you adding friends of friends? If so, what do you say to them when they ask you why you have added them?
You do get that sometimes on Facebook. You don't seem to get it on other social media, but on Facebook you sometimes get that. And I just say, oh, sorry, you look like you'd be really good at our business. So I wanted to send you some info, so let me know if you'd like some info, something like that. Or sometimes if they're being a bit funny, then I probably won't even reply. But something like that along them lines, just saying you might be good at, give them a little compliment. Or you can just ignore it and hope they come back to you and ask you for some info after they've watched your profile for a while. But sometimes you'll get that, but it's not very often. I probably get that like once every few months.
Yeah. And then earlier in the call, we were talking about, 75% of people saying no or not being interested. How do you deal with the skeptics initially? Jane Auger asked that. How do you deal with the skeptics?
I just believe in this product and this business so much that there's no skeptic that can tell me that, it's a scam or it's not going to work. With the proofs in the pudding, not just myself that's successful, my best friends, Carly, Natalie, Olivia, everyone can do this business. We all start from the bottom and everyone can make it to the top. So there's no negativity that can, make me, you just want to keep going. You don't want anyone to ever bring you down and let negativity in. You just need to keep going. And like I said, every single no you get is closer to that yes. You just need to carry on and believe in yourself.
Yeah. No, very good. Excellent. Lisa Simmons asks, how do you close sales and get that yes and tackle those who say it's too expensive? What do you say to that?
For the business, for the product?
Product, I suppose, yeah.
The products, I would break it down daily. So if someone says it's too expensive, for example, the shakes work out just over £1 a day, that's 50p a meal. Where else can you get a healthy meal for 50p? You can't even get that, if you went in Boots, or to get a sandwich from the local shop, or even a soup. Like, you're getting 17 fruit and veg and plant protein for 50p a day. So I would break it down as a daily cost, and then it makes them realise, and also ask them what they're spending. Like, do they get a can of Coke a day, or a soft drink, or a bottle of water? They probably do, or a magazine. And that's literally, they're spending more on rubbish than they would on an actual healthy shake.
Yeah, no, and so, Lauren, I take it that are you mainly dealing with the shakes, or are you dealing a lot more with the capsules now? Where are you at with that?
I would say at the start, it was always the shakes. There was always weight loss in the shakes, probably 90%, and now a lot more capsules as well. So I'd probably say it's still majority shakes, probably Probably 70% shakes and 30% capsules. But obviously, because we promote the skin, hair and nails a lot more now, and we try to sell packages. So we probably sell the shakes with the berries, or with the fruit and veg, or with the premium. So we just try to sell a lot of packages as well, and that way you're getting 2 orders in one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, very good. Excellent. Well, I can see that that's a trend, isn't it, across the whole of Juice Plus now, the packaging and the bundling, and that's very exciting. Yeah, so this is one Julie asks. This is an interesting sort of social media sort of question. How can you stop people coming in on your Facebook page and then contacting your friends and pitching them for themselves?
You can't really, but what I do is if someone accepts me, I'll first of all check they're not in the business, or they're not, like a rival, MLM or something. But if they start to add your friends, then I would just delete them. But obviously you wouldn't know until they've started to pitch them. You wouldn't actually know until someone actually told you. So you kind of wouldn't know, unless I would just make sure they're not at another MLM. I don't usually accept anyone at another company, just in case they go through, they can down your wall and look at your promotions, and then maybe contact your team, or even your customers. So I would just make sure that you try and keep it just to Juice Plus and people in your team.
Yeah, no, that's good. And then Laura Shepherd asks, when recruiting, if someone says they can't afford the sign-up fee, how do you tackle that?
I just explain that it's obviously it's a franchise and it's an investment. Like, you can get that back in about 4 in your first day or two. And it's going to be an investment for the future. Where else can you get a franchise for £50 where you can earn, millions of pounds? I explain to them, obviously I never tell them my full wage now, because they would never believe me. But I tell them that, the average person in the first month, what they earn and what I earned in my first full month. Because £930 sounds more realistic than saying your full wage. If you said that, they probably wouldn't believe you. So just explain that it's an actual investment for the future, and maybe show them videos of people, either yourself or other people that are doing really well, maybe who are similar to themselves.
Brilliant. Okay, well, look, we're going to finish now in just a few more minutes, well, very quickly now. And I've got 2 questions, final question for you. How, Lauren, how do you see the potential and where we're going now with the business? When you, obviously every day you wake up, you're so excited to keep going with everything, because you're getting so much success. But where do you see the vision of this? Where do you see it going for you? What is the thing that really is like, my God, this is so amazing?
God, I don't even know the answer to that question. Obviously my goal is I want to be Club 300, well, soon really. So I want to be Club 300 the next couple of months. And then aiming obviously for 400, maybe around early beginning next year maybe. But obviously for my team, I want to have, as many PMDs in my team as possible. I want to go a lot wider. At the moment, I've built my legs back up to 13, but it'd be nice to have, like a nice strong business of say 10 NMD legs. I'd feel more stable at 10 NMD legs. But literally for the business, I think we're just getting started. Like, I think we're only 1% of the whole of the UK is on Juice Plus. So just think how much more potential we've got. We're only just getting started. So I just think it's just going to go, even bigger over the next few years. And for myself, I want to, grow businesses in other countries as well. I mainly concentrate on the UK, but it'd be nice to have, bigger businesses in America and Australia and other countries too.
Yeah, no, fantastic. That's great. Well, look, so final question. How much money do you think you've earned since you've been involved with Juice Plus?
God, I can't even begin to think.
Give me a rough idea, or what do you think?
God, no, let me think this year. What month are we on? June? Probably this year.
This year, what do you reckon?
Let me just add it up quickly.
You've got a calculator there.
Adding it up roughly.
Just roughly, what do you reckon?
Probably nearly about 200 grand. Roughly.
200 grand this year.
Yeah, so far, we're only in June, aren't we? But I said I'd be comfortable with 30 grand a month, sorry. And now I'm getting that. I'm like, right, I want 40 a month. So
Really?
you want more and more, and it just goes back to like when me and Natalie first heard Charlotte, and 10,000 a month, we couldn't not believe it, and now we're earning 30,000 a month. We can't actually, we just want more.
Yeah,
so that's what you do.
Sure.
You just definitely. But yeah, I think maybe my next thing for next year, I want to be moving to my second house, maybe like somewhere in the country with a bit of land. So that's my next goal, hopefully.
Wow. It's a dream come true, isn't it? I mean, it's incredible, Lauren. So thank you so much. You have been the most incredible person to interview, and what you've said has been just extraordinary. And your whole experience and your story is really outstanding. So thank you
Oh, thanks.
very, very much. And
Oh, thank you.
yeah, look, it's been great. It's been absolutely great. And you're a leading light in our business. And it's just so exciting to have you and to be doing what you're doing. It's amazing. So
Oh,
thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight.
thank you. See you all soon.
Yeah, and I've recorded this and I'll get you over to it, Lauren, a little bit later on this evening.
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
great. Thank you.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone. Good night.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.